So, guys, let's start with the things that are a little bit more boring but essential. Okay, very important travel tips and advice. Don't worry about taking notes and stuff, guys. I'm gonna send all this to you in the morning, so you'll have it electronic, and you can get an electronic version of it, and you can just use that. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact Todd or myself, and we will definitely answer your questions. So, first things first, the flights. We're leaving, you guys will be leaving Monday, May 11th. I apologize at the time you have to arrive at the airport. It's extremely early, it's 5:35. But you're going to France, so you can be excited. Make sure, that's not your takeoff time, that's the time you need to be there. The flight is 7:35. But make sure that you build in plenty of time to get there. The last thing you want is to be stressing out on the way to the airport, okay? So build in plenty of time, get there early, have a breakfast at the airport, for example, and then just take it easy. You're going to be flying with United Airlines. This is your reservation code right here. So basically you take that code to any of the little self-kiosks and they'll print your boarding passes, or you can go directly to the United counter and they'll print your boarding passes for you. I don't know if you guys want to meet at the United counter at that time, or if you just kind of want to get in there and go.
I kind of like us to meet because I just want to make sure everybody's there. Cool. Like before, and just kind of go through security if we can. Go through security together.
Yeah.
I would just kind of like to. I guess I've just done it that way, so I feel more comfortable doing it that way.
Yeah, no, that's better. So guys, meet in front of the United Airlines desk at 5:35. Okay, and be punctual. At least for that part of it, be punctual. Okay. The rest of the time, we might let you slide a little bit. But these are the basic the three steps: check in, security, wait to find out which gate you're going on. Okay. You don't have any huge layovers or anything like that, so that's nice. You're going to arrive in Paris the next morning at, I believe it's 6:55 in the morning. So right when people are getting their day started. So it's perfect. You guys will kind of be in zombie mode a little bit. So I recommend trying to sleep on the plane because it's the next day is going to be very, very long. You'll have a chance. You'll be able to sleep on the train when we're going down South Avignon. But if you sleep on the train, you're going to miss all the beautiful countryside. But don't worry, you'll get to see it going back. Okay? So either way you want to do it. But I'm gonna meet you at the airport. Sandra will be there as well. She'll be one of the local Parisian guides that's with us. You'll have two local guides and then a couple other guides that are jumping in, giving specific tours. Okay, and they'll be with you throughout the Paris stay. And then we have a team down in the south as well. Graziella, she's half French, half Italian. That's why her name's Graziella. But she will be the Provence guide down in the south. So if you have any issues at all, contact Todd. He'll give you his number, I think. And then because I'll be in Europe waiting for you. Okay, so if you call me, it'll go to voicemail, leave a message, and then I'll have an email notification, and then I can call you back. Okay. Has everyone received their flight confirmation from me? Is there anybody here that hasn't received that at all? Yeah, just your name on the your name. Did you double check your name was spelled correctly and all that? Yeah. Anyway, did you get that?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. I'll make a note. I'll resend it, and then did I send it all to you? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Just double check because now we can still change your names, but if it's the day of travel, we're really gonna have to kind of beg the United Airlines people to fix it. So we'll take care of it early. Is your flight plan? OKC to IAD. Is IAD Chicago?
Dulles.
It's Washington. Washington Dulles. That's right. And then you're going to DC, and then you're headed directly to Charles de Gaulle, 6:55. The good thing about Paris is they have one of the most extensive metro networks in all of Europe. So actually, I think it is the most extensive metro network. So we're able to take the RER, which is subway / overground train. We're able to take that directly to the airport. So when you arrive, we'll take you to ATMs, get some local currency, get some euros, and then we'll head directly to Gare du Nord. That's where we're staying while we're in Paris. And I've already talked to them since we're not staying there the first night, but they know that we're coming, so they're going to let us hang out in the common area, take your bags off if you need to, kind of take a sink shower and things like. Because the rooms have their own rooms in them, so you'll have to use the common shower toilet area if you need to take a little quick shower. But once you get to Avignon, you can take a proper shower, okay? But we'll get you fed, we'll go have some breakfast, we'll go do just a little orientation walk, get you comfortable with the area around Gare du Nord. That's a perfect place to be based because it's connected everywhere. We can get everywhere from there. It's only a 15-minute walk to Montmartre, just directly up the hill. It's quite the hill, but so it's in a really good location. So that's one reason we picked it. And the hostel's quite nice. It's petite and small, but it's very nice. You guys will like it. And I assume some of you, this is the first time staying in a hostel? Yeah? Okay, don't be afraid. A lot of times I say that word and people are like, oh my gosh, I've seen the horror movies, hostel and all this. Guys, we rely on repeat travelers, so we'll never put you in a place that isn't up to top quality. The difference between hostel and hotel, anybody? It's the S, okay? The S stands for social. The social atmosphere that you get in a hostel is something that you will not get in a hotel. There's going to be international travelers from all over the world there. The hostel organizes events for its guests. There's a cooking area. It's quite a small cooking area, but it has everything you need to cook, okay? There's Wi-Fi, there's communal computers and all that. I don't recommend bringing a laptop, but a smartphone, for example. I think most people have smartphones nowadays. It's the perfect travel tool because you have your photo, you have your video, you have your alarm clock, you have your calculator, you have your Wi-Fi. It's all right there. So that's what I recommend bringing. We'll talk about roaming and stuff like that a little bit later, but I recommend turning it off, okay? Don't get a call plan while you're over there. It's outrageously expensive. Instead, take advantage of the Wi-Fi and free apps, Viber, Facebook calls, excellent. I don't know if you guys have used that on the messenger, the call, super clear. WhatsApp, FaceTime, there's a million of them now. So use these kind of things instead of having a roaming plan. And also while you're over there, it's kind of nice to disconnect a little bit and kind of completely be in the moment, while you're there and enjoy it. That's another thing I recommend as well. It's entirely up to you, but whenever I travel, I tell my family, listen, if there's some bad news, unless it's extremely, extremely bad and I need to know about it, I don't want to know about it until I get home, okay? Because that's going to be waiting for you when you get home anyway, so don't let it ruin your trip, okay? Let's move on. But yeah, you can check this all out. Give this flight plan to your family, so that way they know where you are and when you're supposed to be arriving. And make sure that you arrange transportation to and from the airport the day of. I think it takes an hour to get out here from Oklahoma City. So
one thing I've done in the past is if you can stay with somebody in Oklahoma City, that's just less time you have to travel getting there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay in Oklahoma City because it's just I want to get up, go to the airport, and be there. I don't want to worry about getting there through traffic, and traffic's probably not going to be bad at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you never know. So
car breaks down.
Yeah, I recommend if you can stay as close as possible, Oklahoma City. That's just, you're all adults, you can do what you need to do, but that's what I recommend.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Okay, so on to packing and stuff, guys. Americans are notorious globally for overpacking, okay? We are known for bringing everything but the kitchen sink, okay? So I'm going to challenge you guys to pack as light as possible. Okay, the weather's going to be fantastic while we're there. We're looking at 80s, It's going to be beautiful, especially down in Provence. It's going to be fantastic. Avignon is a very windy city, okay? Every day there's a lot of wind there, but you don't need that much. And it's an excuse for you to do a little shopping, yeah? So you can bring home some clothes that nobody else is wearing here. Obviously, you need to bring adequate clothing for 2 weeks, but for example, this bag, this is what I use for a month of travel, okay? I'll use a bag like this, and then I have my other bag that I put under my seat. So this goes in my overhead, and this goes under my seat, and that I have the work stuff in, and this one I have all my clothes and stuff in like that. So I recommend that you, I'll show the camera. I recommend that you decide what you want to wear before you go over there. So pack okay, I have this amount of outfits. I know that I'll be able to, that this is going to last me. And then bring things that are interchangeable. Bring things that you can wear a couple different times. You don't have to wear the same thing every single day, but if you wear it on day 1, you wear it on day 3, nobody's going to judge you. Okay, you're in Europe, so it's fine. But another reason why I suggest you don't overpack, especially, and you don't have to bring a backpacking bag or like a duffel bag or something like that. If you want to bring a suitcase, you can. But please, please, please don't bring like a 6-month suitcase. You guys know the ones I'm talking about, the big jumbo suitcases. Mm-hmm. It's unnecessary. If you bring that, 100% for sure, you brought way too many things. And you're going to have to end up washing it all when you get home anyway. So pack light. If you do bring a suitcase, bring one of the little carry-on suitcases, the little ones that are like this high and that wide, okay? Bring one of those because it'll be able to fit in your overhead. And in addition, the main reason for all of this is because in Paris, there's really not that much room, okay? It's a very, very small, everything is very confined. It's old, there's a lot of people there. So there's not a lot of room for big, massive suitcases. And you're going to see this when we get on the metro and stuff. A lot of times, you'll notice this, especially the Parisians, when you get on the metro, they like to stand right in front of the doors of the metro. So, in a lot of different countries, you get in and you kind of disperse and get out of the way. In Paris, they're having their conversation, they're relaxing, talking to their friends, they're standing entirely in the way, and you're oblivious to them, okay? So you're going to have to say, excusez-moi, you're going to have to crawl through, and don't be shy, just go straight through, okay? And otherwise you're standing there awkwardly for a few minutes, and it's like, no, boom, go straight in. And that's what we're going to encourage you, since we are using the metro and public transportation throughout the trip. When it's time to get on, you get on, okay? When it's time to get off, get off. If there's somebody in your way, move them out of the way, okay? And be polite about it, but sometimes you have to let them know that you're there. And if you kind of get into that mentality before we go over there, it'll be much easier for you. A lot of people will say that we have a stereotype that French people are rude, or that they kind of have their noses in the air a little bit, and that they're not friendly. It's entirely not true, okay? They are very friendly, but we have to remember that they live in this city, okay? So it's not kind of for them, they're not tourists there, okay? So like, if you're on the street and you have the huge city map of Paris and you're blocking the walkway, somebody's going to tell you to get out of the way, okay? And they probably won't be that polite about it. So just what I do recommend while you're there is just be conscious of that, and move with the crowds, move with the people, and pretend as you're a local there, okay? And then like if you do need to stop and look at the map, hop over to the side out of the way and look at the map, okay? One of the best things to do when you're in the city, as well, a city like Paris, is because it's all grid, okay? And we'll talk about why it's like that in a little bit. But put the map in your pocket. Put the map away. You know your general direction. You're not going to get that lost, And then if you do get lost, ask somebody, where am I, I do recommend getting a little travel size. I know we have one over here, a little travel size French dictionary, because the majority of Europeans do speak English, and the majority of French people do speak English. Not all speak very well, but they have better comprehension of English than most Americans do of French, okay? So they're going to speak with you, they're going to understand what you're saying, but they want you to try in French, and they'll probably respond to you in French. And even if you're trying in French, they're going to correct you, or they're going to pretend they don't understand you because they know you're struggling. And but that's part of the fun, So try it, butcher it, but still you're trying, And we were talking about that. When you walk into a place, say bonjour. If it's in the evening or in the afternoon, say bonsoir, And then, bonne journée when you leave, or au revoir. Be polite, Don't go and say the first thing in English, okay? They'll kind of ignore you. So you got to go in, speak a couple little words in French, and then and then they'll start speaking English, okay? But in Paris, you might notice the people that are living there, and there's a lot of problems with the economy there as well. Jobs can be difficult to find. Apartments are almost impossible to find there. So a lot of times the people might seem like a little bit depressed, but as soon as they get to a cafe or or a little bar or something like that, and they sit down and they have a coffee or a glass of wine, you see that smile come out, So that's kind of the life there. When you're on the metro, you look around and you say, everybody's very serious. What's going on? And that's exactly what I do. I can't help but laugh. I'm like, come on, guys, you're living in one of the world's greatest cities, and you look so depressed. What is there? But that's kind of that sexy French thing, It's like, life. Who cares about it? Like that's part of the that's kind of part of the charisma there. I mean, it's you have to, and you'll appreciate that. And you'll see it when you go down to the south. When you go down to Provence, the people are lovely. They're happy. They have way better weather. Paris, typically the weather's not that nice. Yeah, it's typically rainy, a little bit cold, similar to London. But when we're there, it's going to be great. So once you experience that, you'll kind of be like, okay, now I kind of I know why they're that way. But anyway, back to packing. So I challenge you to pack as light as possible, and I promise you that you will thank me after you do that. After a couple days, you're like, hey, this was way better. Thank you. I didn't think I could do it, but I've done it. So it's great. If you do need to check a bag, not a problem. We'll obviously we're going to wait for you at the airport. But just remember that a lot of times bags go missing, bags are delayed, and then we have to make another trip back to the airport to go pick up the bag that's delayed. So my suggestion is pack as light as possible, carry it on if you can. If you have liquid meds or something that are over 3 ounces, obviously you're going to need to check your bag, and that's 100% okay, all right? If you have back issues and you need to have a rolling bag, not a problem. Or if you just need a rolling bag, that's fine. But I'm going to challenge you to pack light, okay? And then when you go home, check it on. Who cares? If it arrives a week late, you're at home. So you have backup clothes, But you don't want to arrive in Paris without your things, because then we're going to have to go shopping on day one. Nobody wants to do that. But anyway, these are the dimensions. You can measure all this at home, okay? If you're like super paranoid about it, you can go to the airport and put it in the little blue crate. A lot of times the blue crate will be a little misleading. There is more room in the overhead things than, like, my bag is over the dimensions, but I always use the bag. Use that one. You just have to kind of stuff it in there, and then close it. But yeah, so you're allowed a bag that goes in the overhead, and you're allowed another bag that will go under your seat. Okay. And then if you do need to, I know that we're going to do one check on for art supplies and stuff like that, guys. If you do need to check on, that's fine. Okay. I'm just giving you suggestions. It's not mandatory. You can read all this later. Medications, guys, have to be in the original bottle with the prescription on the outside. Good example. I was wondering what those were doing over there. Yeah. I was like, hey, it's not going to be that depressing. Okay? No, but yeah, guys, you can't have a Ziploc baggie full of pills. Okay, they're going to confiscate that for sure. So make sure that it's in its original bottle.
So if we bring something like Bayer to help us sleep, is that going to be a problem if we bring it in our little personal item bag?
If you bring what? I'm sorry?
Something like Bayer to help us sleep through the...
Yeah. Right. I didn't know Bayer helped you.
I really don't know.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, try to keep it in the original bottle. A lot of times, if it's not liquid, then you can put it in, like, your carry-on purse or whatever, and that's not going to trigger, like, the x-ray machine for them to be like, we should need to look in here. But liquids will for sure. So don't have, like, a nice bottle of, like, perfume or something in there that's over 3 ounces, because you're going to have to say bye to it. Okay? But yeah, I would recommend trying to keep it in the original bottle if possible. That for sure won't be confiscated. Okay? So packing list, guys. You need a duffel bag or a backpacking bag or a small suitcase, and then you need an additional day pack. Okay? So either a purse or a little backpack or something that you can keep your map in, and keep your water bottle in, and you can keep your sandwiches that you made in the morning in, so that way you don't have to, or if you want to just go to the bakery and you want to get a sandwich to go. That's what I'm going to encourage you guys to do as well over there is save your, you don't want to go to a restaurant for lunch. It's not necessary. Save that money for dinner, okay? And go have a nice dinner. Instead, during the day, do what the French do. Have a baguette with some ham and cheese, If you don't like bread, at the end of the trip, you'll love bread because it's the #1 staple in the French diet. Bread, okay? Typical French breakfast is a croissant, a coffee, and maybe a cigarette, okay? But no, I'm joking about the cigarette. They actually don't smoke as much as they used to. But it's a very, very light breakfast. So we actually buy a bunch of extra stuff for you guys because for my metabolism to last throughout the day, I have to have a proper breakfast. A croissant and a coffee is not going to do it. I'm going to be starving in 30 minutes. So we'll have things for you to eat other stuff. Yogurt, fruit, granola, extra croissants. We up some eggs and stuff like that. But something that's a little bit, a little bit heavier, so that way you're not starving at 9 in the morning. Okay. But anyway, guys, bring adequate versatile clothing for 2 weeks of travel. Plan your outfits. Don't bring a ton of options. So every day you have to kind of figure out what you're going to wear. Kind of plan it out. Look at the weather and things like that prior to the trip to decide what the weather's going to be like there, and pack accordingly. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. For me, like one pair of jeans, good for the whole trip. Okay, and then maybe a pair of shorts or something. But try to keep it minimal. Obviously, you're going to need, if you want to go out, because that's one thing that I like to do with the student travelers or all the travelers in general, is show you what people do at nighttime. And that's one of the best things to do in Paris, is to go down to the canal, go to the different parks, and just hang out in the evening with all the locals. And you can have a bottle of wine there, you can have a beer there, you can have a juice there, a Coke there, whatever. But you want to enjoy the weather, you want to be out, you want to be socializing. So bring something other than like the day clothes when you've been trekking around all day long around Paris. Bring something that you can change into. If you guys do want to go like dancing or something like that, or go to some pubs and bars and stuff, it'd be my pleasure to take you. Okay. In regards to drinking and things like that, wine and things like that is an important part of their culture. And you guys are all legal of age over there, 18 years old. You're a legal adult there to drink. But don't be that tourist, okay? We're all adults here. You're never gonna hear me say like, "Hey, what are you doing with that wine?" Of course not. You know, that's part of the culture. That's part of the trip. That's part of the fun. You guys, this is your experience. That's important. But like, if you're sick or if you're acting a fool, that's when I'm gonna say, okay, you need to kind of simmer down a little bit. And luckily, all our travelers for the past 5 years have always respected that. We've never had like an issue with someone just getting completely out of line. So just keep that in mind. And also, it puts yourself in danger, okay? And you don't want to be that intoxicated. So be responsible. If we start to see you're slipping a little bit, we'll give you some positive encouragement, okay? The other way. Flip-flops for showering. Anytime it's not your own shower, I always recommend wearing flip-flops in it. Just because you don't want to get some weird athlete's foot or something. Durable multi-purpose shoes. This is more for the ladies. If you want to bring heels or something, bring them. But it's hysterical watching girls with heels on cobblestone. They do this kind of raptor thing. It's really, really funny. So I recommend like some cute flats or something, and just. But if you want to bring heels, you're like, hey, I'm going out. I'm wearing my heels. I'm looking good here in France. Meet me a Parisian. Then go for it. Okay. That's another thing. I don't know your statuses, relationship statuses, but don't bring any strangers back to where we're staying. Okay. Number one rule: don't do that. All right. And don't go to anyone's place, okay? Everything's the buddy system, okay? So, like, if you're going out at night, you need to have a buddy there. And we need to know where you're going, okay? So that way, if you don't turn up, we know where to start looking, okay? Very important, shower towel, okay? Bring a shower towel. Otherwise, you'll have to rent one, and that's just a waste of money. So bring and that's typically like €2 to rent a towel. But bring your own towel. Make sure it's a thin towel. I recommend like a quick dry towel, one that you can wring out easily. You can buy these at Academy and stuff like that. They're quick dry, so it can soak up a liter of water. You can wring it out, and it's dry within 5 to 10 minutes. That's great because otherwise your towel is going to start to smell like mildew or wet dog, and by the end of 2 weeks, it'll be a stinky towel. So I recommend a quick dry towel and bring one. And then in the worst case scenario, if you do need to rent one, it's available for you, okay? A reusable water bottle, very important. You get an Nalgene bottle. You can get a bottle like this. It's a collapsible one, so it fits anywhere. But the reason is because the tap water is great there. It's very good. So there's no reason to spend €2, €3, €4 on water every day, and then you're not getting hydrated because you don't want to spend the money on the water. Instead, get one of these, use the tap water, okay?
Where are you going to find something like that?
Academy, Target, Walmart. I recommend always going, I don't get commission from these guys, but I always recommend going to Ross, okay? Mm-hmm. Ross has half the stuff on the list is super cheap at Ross. So you get reusable water bottles there, you get your combo locks there, you get your flip-flops there. They might even have quick dry towels, but those are typically the ones like for the cars, you know? Yeah.
Do you recommend taking a washcloth? Because I usually take one over there because I don't want to. They don't have it.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Personally, I'll use my hands if I'm gonna wash my face. I don't use a washcloth. But yes, that is a common thing that people say. Wear the washcloths. They don't do it. You either have your own or whatever. Yes. So if you're used to using a washcloth and washing your face at night and things like that, then bring your own one. Put it in a Ziploc little baggie, things like that. And if you like, it'll be good. But we're going to talk about wet wipes and hand sanitizer in a second too. Those do wonders. Guys, you need a combo locker or padlock. The reason is at each place we're staying, you have your own little personal locker. So you can put your stuff in there, any kind of valuables you can put in there. If you have extra valuables, things that are extra important, there's like the safes that are right by the reception office that you can use. But please don't bring a lot of valuables. Keep it to a minimum, okay? Because basically whatever you're packing, look at it and say, if I lose this on the trip, is it going to put a damper on my trip? If the answer is yes, leave it at home, okay? Because you don't need that. Don't bring laptops. It's just too much. It's too bulky, and it's not necessary, okay? If there's an emergency and you need to do something, I'll have my laptop. You can use mine, okay? Because in the mornings I have to get up and do some work and stuff, but I still have fun at night, though. Don't bring a laptop. Bring a smartphone if you can, something like that. If not, they have communal computers that you can use, okay? So we will never, if you need to make a call, we'll always make it happen, okay? Camera, obviously, you have to bring a camera. You need to be able to remember everything. Journals, great. I recommend bringing a travel journal just because you write down a lot of things that you forget, and then you go back and you read it, and it kind of brings it back to life for you. Wet wipes and hand sanitizer. These are two of the most important things, I think, for traveling. Anytime you're on metro, you just get that feeling, that grimy feeling, and you're like, okay, for sure, this is filthy. And then you walk out and there's some delicious street food, and then you're like, no, I can't eat it because I have these gross metro hands. So wet wipes, hand sanitizer, you're good to go. Wet wipes can be great for if you don't want to bring washcloths, or you just arrived in Charles de Gaulle, 7 in the morning, and you kind of have that airplane feeling, and so you just want to do a little wet wipe shower. Perfect. Bring it. Travel size toiletries, travel size umbrella. You can get all this at Ross. Okay, a little travel size umbrella would be great. Small trash can liner bags, so not the big hefty ones, but just the clear kind of plastic ones. Those are great for separating dirty clothes from clean clothes and wet clothes from dry clothes, okay? I highly recommend those. Also, Ziploc bags just for extra organization, keeping your things all straight in your bag and organized. Bring extra copies of your passport, like black and white copies of your passport, just in case if you lose your passport. It's going to make it a lot easier for us when we go to the embassy to get you a new one, okay? Additionally, and you want to keep one in one bag, one in another bag, and maybe one in a pocket of a jacket or something, okay? Also, bring your school ID. Please bring your school IDs because it's amazing. You can get great discounts on a lot of things. So you can get discounts on food even sometimes. There's certain pubs that will give student discounts, activities, extra. You guys would have the museum pass anyway, but it's always good to have your school ID in your wallet because you say, oh, I just saved €2 here, I just saved €2 here. So please bring your school IDs, okay? And because we already purchased tickets for the Pope's Palace, and the majority of those are student tickets. So typically they don't ask to see them, but please do bring them. If you don't have a school ID, if you're not a student anymore, don't worry about it, okay? Very important, guys, US to EU electric adapter or converter, okay? If you, they have different voltage. They use 220 over there. So we use 110. If you plug your device into the wall over there, it's gonna get fried. Okay, for sure. Ladies, hair dryers, hair straighteners, and things like that. Try to get the travel size ones instead of the big ones. I don't know why, but those require so much more energy that they always blow the fuse. It's an expensive fireworks show. Reception's gonna come yell at me, and then I'm gonna have to pretend I'm mad at you guys. But Please don't be that one that blows it up, okay? So let's talk about the difference. I'm going to talk about the difference real quick when we roll down here. So this is an adapter, okay? This is an EU adapter. You see the two little prongs here? So your electrical device is, there's another one, a live one, if you want to hold it, pass it around. Your device isn't even going to go into the wall over there without one of these, okay? But now this alone, that little one right there, isn't going to protect your device unless your device says on the electrical plug-in that it can handle 100 to 240, okay? So any kind of, on the electrical plug that you have for your tablet, for your phone, for your camera charger, whatever, before you plug it in the wall, make sure that it says 100 to 240, okay? Now, if your device doesn't say 100 to 240, you're going to need a converter, okay? You can get little travel-sized converters that have 5 continents on it, and you can get those for like $20. You can get that at Target, Walmart, Radio Shack. So you can eat more online, whatever you want to do. But you can easily get one of those, and it's a good investment because then you have it all in one, right? $20. This is only a couple dollars. So this is like $2 at the most $5. If you're paying over $5 for that, go somewhere else, okay? So keep that in mind. Make sure that you read on it and say, like right here on the plug, say if it can handle 100, 240. If anybody has a phone charger in here, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Most modern electronics do have already have that converter built in, okay? Art supplies, okay guys? We've built in a lot of cool opportunities for you guys to take advantage of the landscape down in Provence and also in Paris. So if you are an artist, or if you want to pretend like you're an artist, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be stick figures pretending, because I'm awful. Anyway, there's a lot of really, really cool opportunities. So whatever you do want to do while you're there, bring your supplies for it. I know that Professor Parker's going to be bringing some stuff as well, but I assume you want them to bring some of their own stuff too, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, Nikki and Candace are going to be taking a class over there. I'm going to be teaching them how to paint watercolor.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, and that's going to be like the best place to do it.
That's going to be so cool. So, yeah, wait till you see the photos in a second.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to check carry-on, and I think it's just going to be easier to take the art supplies and just put everything in that box and that luggage or whatever we have.
Right.
And just check it, and that way we can just do our carry-on thing with our own stuff.
Please, please do it. Please.
But Melissa, if you want to take something, Lauren, if you want to take something, Tulane, if you guys want to take, I mean, if it's something bulky or I don't know, I mean, it's going to be an opportunity to take something that's going to be easy to take out. We can kind of divvy it up when we get to the hotel, the hostel.
And not many people, it's okay. And not many people can say, hey, I've done watercolor in Provence. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And if not, you can do stick figures with me. I'm going to draw you guys right there.
That's great.
Yeah, you're doing good, buddy. Can I get credit as well? 3 credit hours. Humanities. Oh. Guys, no liquid over 3.4 ounces, okay? If in your carry-on. We've gone over that. Make sure you complete the sign up now form. You guys have all done that. Thank you. Medical form, I'm going to send this to you. Fill it out, take a picture, send it back to me. I only need to know about things that you think I need to know about in case of emergency. Okay, so any kind of allergies to medication, anything that you think we should know about, this will be 100% confidential. We'll only get it out in the case of emergency, but it is important. France has some of the best healthcare in the world, so they will take care of you, typically free of charge. At the end, they are polite and they say, do you have insurance? And then if you do, you can give them a copy of your insurance. But they will take care of you. Then it's not like here where they'll let you just bleed out. Okay? Over there, they will take care of you. So please send that to me, and I'll get that to you ASAP because I know the trip is fast and approaching. Passport, obviously. Guys, if you don't have your passport yet, you need to get it as soon as possible, and you're going to have to pay to have it expedited, okay? You need to notify your bank. Do not pay attention to these dates. I apologize. This is from another one. But you do need to notify your bank that you're going to be out of the country from the 12th to the 23rd. Is that right? 11th to 23rd? 11th through 23rd. Notify your bank you're going to be out of the country. And kind of annoy them a little bit. Be like, Are you sure you made a note on my account? It's 100% good. Ask them a couple times, because a lot of times we're like, yeah, we got you, and they didn't do it, and then your card freezes over there, it doesn't work, and then we have to call the bank, and then you go through the whole thing again. So make sure you call them, let them know you're going to be out of the country, tell them you're going to be in France, and then that way your card and stuff will work, okay? You need to arrange transportation to and from the airport. We're going to talk about that, okay? Very important, guys. Promise me this, that you're not going to bring a lot of U.S. cash over there in hopes of exchanging it, okay? There's a couple big problems with that. One, it's not smart. You might lose your money, okay? You might get pickpocketed. You might misplace it. Two, you're basically throwing your money in the trash can. High conversion rates, the exchange. Every time I see people lined up at these exchange places, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. What are they doing? If they never planned to go back to where they came from, okay, I understand. They had a lot of cash still, but don't do that, okay? What you want to do is, and cashier's checks, guys, are extinct, okay? Nobody uses those, and not cashier's checks, traveler's checks. Mm-hmm. Cashier's checks still work. I made one today. But traveler's checks, they're extinct, okay? So do me a favor, put your spending money on a debit card, okay? And maybe an extra debit card if you have one. This will be a lot better for you. We're going to take you to the ATM, you'll withdraw euros directly, you have local currency in hand, and it will cost you maybe $2 to $5 at the most to do that. So then you can decide, you can ask me, ask one of the other guys, how much money do you think I need for the next couple of days? We'll say, I don't know, 80 euro, for example. So then you make like a couple withdrawals of 80 euro, and it's going to last you the duration of the trip, right? That's on personal spending habit. We'll talk about that in a second. But do it that way. If you do have a credit card you want to use, typically you're going to get charged 3% international fee unless you have like a United Mileage Plus card that doesn't charge you international transactions. A lot of debit cards as well. Banks, First Fidelity Bank in Oklahoma, they'll reimburse you for your international transactions as well. So just keep that in mind, okay? It's always good to have a backup. In the case that you lose your debit card or something, or it gets damaged and it doesn't work, then you can have a loved one put your money onto like my account, and I will give you your money, okay? That's worst case scenario. But yeah, please don't bring over a big lump of U.S. cash, okay? Adequate money for the trip, completely dependent on your personal spending needs. We're going to talk about prices and things in a second, but I always like to say it's much more, so that way you don't get over there and then run out of money quickly, yeah? I'm quite frugal when I travel, so I'm going to show you how to do it on the cheap, okay? But if you're there, you've got money to spend, then have a blast, do your own thing. But if you bring something in between there, you should be 100% okay. All right, guys? While we're talking about this, let's talk about the prices of food and things like this right there. So if you want to have like a nice baguette, like a 12-inch baguette, for example, sandwich, right, for lunch, that's going to cost you about €3. 3 to 4 euro, okay? Directly across from where we're staying in both in Avignon and in Paris, there's a supermarket. So you can go get your own supplies, make your own sandwiches and stuff like that. Lasts you throughout the day. You have some fruit with it as well. You spend €5 and you have everything to last you through the day. Now, in the evening, if you want to go to a restaurant, there's affordable restaurants and there's very expensive restaurants, okay? Paris is incredible because the amount of different cultures that are there. It's a very, very diverse place, right? Because you have the French, all the previous French colonies, they had all of North Africa, all of West Africa, lots of Southeast Asia, So because of that, it's a very multi-ethnic community in Paris. So you can get amazing food for like €5. And then you can get the salty crepes, packed with whatever you want. There's a million options. So like when I'm in Paris, I like to go street food. I think it's the best way. You'll get amazing falafels and Marais, €5, okay? Now if you want to go have like a proper French meal, you need to budget, pretty much standard French meal is going to come with a set menu with different options. So you're going to have a starter, you're going to have a main dish, and then you're going to have a dessert, yeah? And like cheese is typically the dessert, and then there'll be a sweet one. They like to have the heavy food first and then the soft food at the end. It makes sense. when you're digesting. But sometimes it'll be a glass of wine. But a set menu like that will run about €20. Okay, but budget it in to have one of those every once in a while. But you guys also have, I think it's three included like regional meals. So we're going to do one in Avignon, and then we're going to do 2 in Paris. So you're going to have excellent food. We're going to take you to really impressive, cool restaurants that a lot of locals go to because it's great food, but it's also affordable food. Now, if you're a foodie and you want to go to like some Michelin star and stuff like that, you're probably looking at €80 to probably eat. You know, I think it's unnecessary. Cost of wine. What does a glass of wine cost in France? Okay, €3. Yeah. What does a bottle of wine cost in France? €4, €5. So you know these are really good wine for €5. What does a beer cost? And whenever I travel, I say, okay, how much does a beer cost there? And then you kind of decide what everything else is going to cost. A beer, if you're at like a pub or something, is going to cost probably anywhere, probably around €5, €4, €5 for like a half liter. Bottled water, they have the Evian and the Perrier and all this stuff. Those are expensive. It's like €4, and it's unnecessary. It's the same water you're getting out of the tap, but just with a fancy bottle. So, like, use tap water, do that. So if you say, okay, we're there for 10 days, and I need to budget like my food money each day. Let's say that I want to spend €6 on just the food to last me throughout the day, for example, right? Or lunch, because every day you have breakfast included, so you budget €6 for your lunch, right? So that's €60 right there that you need to budget. Luckily, the euro and dollar are almost equal, so you're looking at $65 to cover your lunches. And then at the dinner in Avignon, there's not a kitchen because it's against fire code at the building. It was going to cost them another €15,000 to put in the kitchen, but they do an amazing job with providing like really, really good tapas for super cheap. And they have an amazing happy hour there for tapas and drinks and stuff like that as well. So I put a picture online a few weeks ago for like €7. It was a couple different meat plates with cheese plates and the mashed olives. So I mean, it's delicious, and we're going to do that when you guys arrive there the first night. We're going to arrange something nice for you. But yeah, so just keep that in mind, kind of food prices. If you need more examples, I'll be able to provide it to you. But your transportation, you're not going to spend any money on transportation unless you're doing something like completely off the itinerary where your Metro card doesn't work. Okay, but yeah, so everything else is just kind of spending money and souvenirs and fun money. What are French souvenirs? I mean, really nice soap from Marseille. Amazing soap from Marseille. You get down to Avignon. It's cheap. It's a great gift to bring home. French lotions and stuff like that. These are good gifts you want to bring home. You don't want to bring home like a little Eiffel Tower and stuff like that. In my opinion. Okay. So I would say, and we'll give you. Yeah.
I've got a really good place, a chocolatier in Paris.
Yeah.
Patrick Roger. My wife just absolutely loved it, and when she got to the bottom of the package, she didn't realize there was still like a layer, like it looked like the bottom, like the paper.
Yeah.
But it was actually a layer of chocolate, and she just about lost it. She was so happy. We can go there. They actually take tourists through Europe. They have American groups go over for tours just for chocolate.
Beautiful. I'm not surprised. Yeah, but no, that sounds amazing. Yeah. So these are kind of things, guys. Most of the cheese you're not going to be able to bring back home, unfortunately. It's just too stinky and it's too alive. I mean, it's Well, cheese is constantly living.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
it.
you walk into a cheese shop and it's the foot of God you're smelling there. the feet of angels, right? And it's true, you're going to smell some stinky, stinky cheese, but you got to try it. And we're actually arranging something for you guys. It's going to be really cool. We're going to go to a cheese shop. We've already talked to them. And they're going to do a big spread out for you. And you're going to get the sample. A couple things. When we go into the itinerary, I'll kind of tell you a little bit about that. Don't pay attention providing the London contact information. Provide the France contact information. I apologize for the typo there. But this is our contact information, okay? You can check out the places already online if you want. They're both excellent. And then these are your addresses, so you can cut this off, print this, cut it, Keep it in your wallet, purse, whatever you have, so that way if you ever get lost, you at least know how to get home, okay? This is my number that I can be reached on while I'm over there. I'll have a local French SIM card while I'm there so I can correspond with the guides and stuff and then make any necessary changes if anything pops up. But this is the number you want to have people contact me on in the case of an emergency, okay? Tell them to leave a voicemail, and then we'll get back to them as soon as possible, okay? $1 equals, €1 equals $1.05, okay, right now. So, I mean, it's amazing. If you want to stay up to date on the conversion rates, just go to xe.com, and you look, $1 to the euro equals 0.92, so 92 euro cents. That's
It's never been
non-existent. That's never ever been. I wish it was like that when I was taking out all my student loans. Oh my gosh, I was getting screwed twice. Yeah. Sorry. All right, so this is kind of all like the boring stuff, guys, and then but also very essential. It'll help prevent a lot of problems. I'm gonna send that to you in the morning. And now we can talk a little bit about the itinerary. So as we know, we're going to pick you up at the airport bright and early, 6:55. By the time you get through passport control, all that, probably around 7:30, unless there's just really, really long lines. But don't worry, no stress. We're going to get you fed. Everyone's always tired, always hungry when they get off the plane. But you will have a dinner. You will have a breakfast on the plane. And then our train, I booked our train later in the afternoon in case there was some kind of delay. So our train's at 3 p.m., okay? So I'm sorry we can't get there and go directly to Avignon and, pass out. But you do not want to sleep that first day. Just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing until bedtime, and it's going to be the best night ever. We're going to take the train at 3. So, if your flight is delayed by 6 hours or something like that, I'm going to be in go mode, okay? We got to move. But I don't think it will be. It's rare that it's that extreme. And if it is that extreme, United pays about €600 for the inconvenience if you're ever delayed by 4 hours. So boom, we just saved the money that we lost on the train tickets, okay? Because they're non-refundable. But we will get you down to the south, I promise. So anyway, I'll pick you up at 7, fingers crossed. And we'll go get checked in, drop the bags. You guys can freshen up a little bit. We'll go grab some breakfast, and then we'll stroll around town for a little while. And then we'll get to the train station early. You guys can get some sandwiches and stuff to take with you on the train, and then we have a 3-hour train ride down to Avignon. It's very, very beautiful. The whole train ride is just gorgeous. You guys will probably fall asleep on the train, but you can try to fight it. Lots of coffee. Once we get to Avignon, we walk directly out of the train station. We head down Republic, the street, and 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk, we're at our place, Pop. And the staff there are amazing. I made a lot of friends while I was there. They're really, really cool. And you guys are going to love them, and they're going to take good care of you. When we get there, we'll have some tapas, we'll have some food, get you fed, and then we'll go to bed. We're going to do the proper French welcome dinner the next night, because you'll appreciate it more when you're not falling asleep on your plate. The orientation walk the first night is orientation how to get from the train station to the hostel. That's your orientation walk, okay? If you do have energy and you do want to go do something, it'll be my pleasure to show you a couple places, okay? The next day is going to be great. You're going to be fresh. You're going to be alive. We'll have breakfast ready for you in the morning. And then we're going to go to the Palace of the Popes. It's incredible. So, I think they had two popes in Avignon. That was their base. And the whole city, central Avignon, Old Town, is completely surrounded by a wall. It's really cool. You can walk the whole wall during your free time. Some parts of the wall you can actually get on top of it, but you have to be a good climber to get on top of it because there's not access to it. But if you're up there, that's what they said. They say, if you can get up there, you're free to go. You're free to walk the whole thing, yeah? But good luck getting up there. So the first day we'll do a walking tour in the morning. I'm not sure how she's going to do it. She's still deciding, depending on the time, how many people are going to the Popes. But either we're going to start with a 2-hour walking tour, and then we're going to go to the palace, or we'll start with the palace and do a 2-hour walking tour. So just play it by ear. It's always better that way. After that, we'll go get some supplies from the market. We'll go to the gardens directly next to the Pope's Palace. And it's going to be a beautiful lookout over the river, over all the valley. It's gorgeous. We'll sit up there. You guys can do some art. You guys can eat some food. And then basically just we'll kind of have free time. Later that evening, we're going to go, we're going to take you to a couple little places around town. Graziella, she has her final exam at like 4 p.m. that day. So once she finishes her exam, she'll be joining the group full time then. And hopefully she'll be celebrating because she did really well in her exam. Mm-hmm. That's what we hope. But she'll be in a good mood, she's promised me. She said she'll be in a good mood either way, so we'll be fine. But that night we'll go to a place called Vintage, and we'll have a really, really good French meal. It's one of the ones where you have like 3 options for your starter, 3 options for your meal, and 3 options for your dessert, and they're including a glass of wine as well. So we'll have a proper French dinner, and then that night we can take you out if you want to go out, or you can just chill back at the hostel. Next day, guys, we're going to Arles. In my opinion, I think Arles is probably one of the most beautiful, I want to call it a towns I've ever seen, especially in Europe. It is, you feel like you're in a movie set. It's rustic, buildings are falling apart and they're crumbling, and they're all painted different colors, and it's just gorgeous. It's so beautiful, and you have all these amazing Roman ruins around the town. You have an incredible arena. You have, there's theaters there, and then you just have random Roman ruins all over. It has the Vincent van Gogh center there, and so it's an incredible town. It also has an amazing museum, which we definitely have to go to. It's like one of the best things that you can do there. It's on the other side of the river. So we'll start off with a walking tour. Graziella, she's actually a student there, but she's also getting her feet wet in the tourism industry. She's an amazing guide. So she's starting to work with more and more groups, and she's going to give you a walking tour in Arles. I was lucky when I was there. It was the Feria de Toro, so it's the bull festival, and they get them all in the arena. They don't kill the bull like in Spain. It's better. It's more humane. They go, they try. It's like capture the flag, but with the bull. And it's fun because Nîmes and Arles always argue who has a better feria and all this. But anyway, it was a huge party. It was a Friday afternoon. It was 1 p.m. And I was sitting there working, just enjoying the environment. And all of a sudden, this house music started playing. And I was like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. And then the square filled up with people. And then they started pouring pasties, and they started pouring wine, and they started giving it to people all for free. And the whole city just turned into a huge party for like that whole day. And so I might be a little biased why I love Arles so much because of that. But I'm telling you, if you're into photography, wow, it is an incredible city. And they also have these really amazing the crypts. You can go under the town, and it's really, really cool. And we can do that in Paris as well too. But I definitely recommend the catacombs in Paris, but the crypts in Arles are spectacular. So that way we're gonna go to the amphitheater, we're gonna go to the museum, we're gonna do a walking tour there, and we're just gonna chill out and take in the city because it's very, very beautiful. You'll see what I mean. And also what I want you guys to do is start looking at the places we're visiting, start doing a little bit of research beforehand, so that way when you get there, you already know you have a deeper appreciation, you know what to expect a little bit, and you read something, say, oh, I really want to go see this while I'm there, okay? Kind of spark that. If you want to go and just be like 100% fresh, that's fine too. That's why the guides are there, okay? Okay, next day. In the original itinerary, we had, I know we've made a couple changes, but we removed Aix-en-Provence. It's too posh. It's not really for kind of the art kind of thing, in my opinion, of what I think you guys are going after. Actual time to paint and enjoy and absorb the natural beauty. And if you're just in city while you're in Provence, you've missed the best part. You have to get out into the nature, okay? So on this day, I'm going to give you an option, okay? You can go to Nîmes, okay? And you can spend the day in Nîmes, or you can go to Fontaine-de-Vaucluse. I'm going to show you some pictures. I know I just kind of sprung this on you, Todd, but I didn't tell him about this. But it's still one or the other. It's up to you. It's 100% optional, okay? Let me just show you what I'm talking about here, okay? First of all, you go to Isla-sur, right here. Beautiful little town with windmills and river running through it. You just chill out. It's gorgeous. This is only 15 minutes from Avignon, Okay, they have an amazing market, fresh food market, and then from here, this is one of the most spectacular places that, and this is Fontaine de Vaucluse, and basically this is the big water hole. They've got two of them, but they you come here. It's all the pictures of the water hole. You come here because like this is you're sitting out on the rocks. There's little cafes all along it. It's the most tranquil, beautiful place. And I think if you guys are doing like watercolor and stuff like this, I would totally recommend. That's a little extreme there. I don't know who this guy is, but I mean, just for like having a day out in nature and hiking and putting your feet in the freezing cold water and just sitting out there. There's Marys everywhere, okay, out there. But I don't know who this guy is here. I apologize. I'm gonna get out of the. Anyway, I put a bunch of photos on Facebook of this place, and it's entirely up to you. Let's get on a better picture of it.
I think if you go to the X next to Image Church on the
Oh,
right.
thank you. Where?
Right there. There you go.
Thank you. I was really struggling. we can leave it on this one, for example. But it's just an incredible little town. They have all of the all the moulins, all the water mills, and they make paper the traditional way there. And it's just a beautiful town. It's got a river running all through it, and there's huge mountains all around it. It's awesome for hiking and stuff like that. So, if you want to, I recommend it. And the only reason I'm saying is because you're gonna see a really beautiful arena. Okay, Nîmes has a beautiful arena too. They're always competing, but what Nîmes has that Arles doesn't have is the Roman temple. Okay. Now, I'm a little bit biased because I really love Rome and I really love Italy. And in my opinion, this Roman temple, very impressive, nice, but it looks almost like a replica. It's too perfect, in my opinion. What do you think? Do you think it's too perfect?
I've been looking forward to go seeing that thing for a long time. So
Okay.
I'm a little bit biased. I mean, it probably does look. It's probably one of the best preserved Roman temples in existence, besides the Pantheon in Rome.
Right.
It's probably the best preserved because they used it. They kept using it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to Mason Curie for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'll defer to what everybody else wants to do.
No. That's why we have two guides. That's why we have two guides. It's not a vote. That day, you have your budget, you have your train ticket. I'm taking you to the train station. You're gonna go with Graziella, and if you want to go to Nîmes, go to Nîmes. If you want to go get out in the nature, stuff like that, Fontaine de Vaucluse, you'll come there. Like I think that's. I mean, is that cool for you?
That's fine with me. It'll be kind of tough because I do like those sort of photos you showed me of the water.
Exactly. So, well, the good news is, and we're gonna get to that here in a second, okay? The good news, guys, is that on this day, Saturday, okay, if you do one or the other, you only really need about like 2 to 3 hours in Nîmes, okay? And Fontaine de Vaucluse is the same. You only need about 2 or 3 hours. So we're taking the afternoon train around, I want to say 4 o'clock. So this day, Saturday, you can go do one or the other. So you can do both. Okay? Or if you don't want to do one or the other, you can go to the other side of the river in Avignon. There's a beautiful fortress over there. And then you have the best view of Avignon. You have the Pope's Palace right there. And that right there is spectacular. So that kind of day is for you to decide what you want to do. You're a little uneasy thinking about it. You can't decide now.
Yeah, it's like it's too good. It's like,
that's what I'm saying. Is like next time we do this, we need solid 2 weeks just down in Provence. Yeah. But with the time though, we've made it to where you're gonna have an amazing experience and you're gonna leave wanting more. Okay.
I got a question. One's on Friday, one's on Saturday. Is one or the other of those means going to be busier on the weekend or on the weekday? day?
Yeah, well, Saturday, for example, would be a good day to go to Fontaine de Vaucluse because that's when they have their fresh food market, which is awesome. And so you can go there, fresh food market, Saturday morning. And then, Nîmes a proper city. So, like, even if there are a lot of people there, it's all spread out.
Go into the small European towns and villages that have a fresh market like that. I mean, they'll sell fruit, they'll sell flowers, it's an amazing experience, and it's the whole town it comes out for.
Exactly.
So it's unbelievable.
You get to go sample everything, and you don't have to buy. You get to sample. You know, it's like Sam's, but gourmet. You know, so I mean, cheese, meat, everything you can imagine they have there. Okay, guys, we're gonna go to Paris, and then we're gonna have a dinner in Paris at Cartier, really, really cool restaurant, and I'll show you, actually that's supposed to be up here, Cartier, but you're going to go have amazing dinner that first night. The next day, guys, what we've done in Paris is we've broken the itinerary up, and so that way you're not just running from all sides of the city. We've broken the itinerary up into different neighborhoods and different sections of the city, so that way you can see what's there, you can have more time in that part of the town, and then we'll focus on another part of town on that particular day. All the different guys are said there's 20 districts, and it goes in a circular pattern. Because if you look at a map of Paris, you'll be confused because you'll see, okay, District 1 is directly next to District 8, and 8's directly next to 14. Why is it like that? It's because it starts in the center, and it goes out and round and round and round like that, okay? So when you look at the map, you say, oh, okay, that makes sense now. But each district has something special. Each district will have different markets on different days, okay? Each district will have a different museum. So what we've done is we have nearly a whole week in Paris, which is kind of like the minimum that you need there to really. A lot of people will go for 2 days and stuff like that. They'll only see the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre Museum. And they think that they've seen Paris. Paris is a city where you want to kind of get to the underbelly a little bit of it. You want to go check out the live jazz concerts that they have all the time. The music's fantastic there. You want to build a relationship with a city and a particular cafe. You want to know how to navigate the town. So you really need a week there at a minimum. So you're spending really, really good time there. We worked really hard with the guides to kind of make a perfect 6 days in Paris. And this is what you're going to see when you're there. So we start out on the west side of the city, and we show you kind of the old opera house, kind of the more lavish part of Paris. And then we head down the Latin Quarter, you see Pantheon, this kind of stuff. You go to Sorbonne area, one of the oldest universities in Europe. And you see kind of the places that you're most familiar with, And then the next day, our goal is to kind of do something educational, cultural in the morning, and then afternoon free time for cultural immersion and self-exploration. So it's not going to be so structure, go. At the end of the day, you've seen so many things, you don't know what you've seen. We want to give you that free time to go explore on your own as well and see the things that interest you the most, okay? So you have the museum pass, which gives you 4 days of unlimited access to these museums. You skip the queue, you go directly to the front, and that's going to be fantastic because you can go to the ones that interest you the most. And then in the evening, like I said, we're going to take you to different areas so that way you can go to the canals if you want. You can go to some jazz venues. And the good thing about the jazz concerts, they start early. They start around 7, 8, Typical dinner time in France is until around 8 p.m., okay? If you want to go eat at like 6 p.m., the place is closed, okay? So then mornings, something educational, something cultural. Afternoons, free time. Do what you like to do, but we're not off the clock during free time. That's when we say, okay, guys, I'm going to go do this, or he's going to go do this, or she's going to go do this. What sounds good? You can join one of us, or you can go do your own thing. Okay. Of course, you're going to go to Notre Dame, right? That's Zone 1. That's where it all starts. It's the heart of the city. It's been a cathedral there for 2,000 years. So I mean, that's where we're going to start on this day. And then you go to the Jewish quarter, the Marais. It's also the gay quarters as well. But incredible falafel, really, really beautiful streets. It's just great to go and get lost. And from there, from the Marais, you go directly near the Pompidou Center, Bebou. And from that's one of my favorite neighborhoods. I think it's really, really cool. The Pompidou building's amazing. The way the architect, he did the same building in London, very similar building in London, the Barclays Center, but it's genius because he built it inside out. So if anything technical is going wrong with the building, if something needs to be repaired, they don't have to disrupt what's going on inside of the building. So all the big pipes and everything like that are on the outside of the building. That's why it looks so funky like that, because they built it inside out. But it's genius. You know, a lot of people say that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I think it's great. You know. Again, guys, free time, cultural immersion. Go into the Pompidou, spend as much time as you want while you're in there, and then if you want to get out and go somewhere else, go for it. Orsay, you have to go to the Orsay while you're there. It's a beautiful neighborhood as well. And then we're going to go for a picnic just under the Eiffel Tower. You'll get to climb up, get to go, take all the pictures, do it. You can go back at night as well when it's all lit up. And there's not really a whole lot out there, but while you're there, you definitely need to go. So, of course, it's built in. Then we're going to go spend a whole day in Versailles. Oleg's going to be your guide out there. He's originally Polish, but he's been living in Paris now for about 15 years. And he's a fanatic of Versailles. He loves to give tours there. And he'll be your tour guide there. And it's also really, really beautiful once you leave like the palace grounds and stuff. It's a really beautiful town. It's a beautiful little city center just outside there that you can go visit. You need the whole day there, guys. So with the museum pass, you have access, and you're also going to have a tour guide with you. And so we'll spend the whole day there. We'll come back in late afternoon, evening, do whatever you like, okay? And then, of course, no trip to Paris is complete if you don't go to Montmartre. Famous writers, poets, and of course artists used to call this base. It wasn't part of Paris during that time. It was a city outside of Paris. It was one of the reasons why it wasn't destroyed. When you go to Paris, you say, "Wow, it's beautiful. It's an amazing city," but everything is, you know, there's Roman ruins there, and there's some older buildings, but the majority of everything is, you know, 19th, 18th century. Most of the lavish buildings that you're seeing. The reason that is because Napoleon III, the nephew of dictator Napoleon, who was also a dictator, he destroyed the entire city when the revolutions were happening. He destroyed the entire city because it used to be a labyrinth of a city, and that was easy for for revolutions to spark up. That was easy for riots to happen. So what they decided to do was level the entire city and make these huge, big boulevards, grand plazas, big squares and stuff like that, and that's what you see today, and that's why Paris is considered one of the most beautiful cities in the world, because it has that look to it, you know? Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that way they can point the cannons down the street and tell whoever's coming up the street.
Exactly.
In the Latin Quarter, there is still some of that medieval distinctness left, because that was kind of, I don't know, and that's a pretty cheap place to eat too, because students go there.
Exactly. Yeah, left bank and all that area. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you will see some old streets there, and you will see sometimes a few streets still have original cobblestone. But then when you go up into Montmartre, then you say, wow, this is kind of really, even though it's a little bit touristy, but it's still very cool. And there's special places in that neighborhood, and you're going to do a walking tour there, so it'll be a very informational walking tour. But you'll be like, okay, this is kind of the Paris I imagined. Plus, it has one of the best views of the entire city, so you can see absolutely everything there. The Sacré-Cœur, I mean, the cathedral is beautiful. I don't know if it's a basilica or a cathedral, but it's marvelous. It's really, really gorgeous. And that would be a great place to sit. There's tons of people, tons of artists that are up there selling their work and stuff like that. But yeah, when you go up there, you say, okay, this is a little bit more kind of what I was imagining. And that's only a 15, 20-minute walk from where we're staying. You just go directly up the hill and then directly down to get back. And then what I recommend doing on after that on Friday is going to like one of the flea markets, for example, in the afternoon. You got to experience the market. And then the next day you're departing for home. Bright and early, we have to be at the airport at 8:30. No, 9. 9 in the morning, I want to say. We have to be there. Where is it at? Yeah, exactly. So we have to be at the airport at 7:45. The flight's at 9:45. So it'll be an early morning. You guys will be super sad. You know, we're leaving, but it's going to be an awesome trip. Do we have any questions, guys, about anything that I didn't answer or I didn't cover? Anything that there's no stupid questions, so please don't be shy.
Well, you mentioned having buying little lotions and soaps and whatnot for as souvenirs. Are they? Do you know if they're very big? Are they legal to put on the carry-on?
Yeah, absolutely. You can get small ones, but what I think you guys should do though is when you're coming back, just check your bag on. Like especially if you get some lotions that are a bit bigger, check your bag on the way back because
Does that cost money?
No. You guys have up to 50 pounds.
Okay.
One checked on bag up to 50 pounds. Okay. It's just when you're going over there, I encourage you to carry on so that way you know where your stuff is and it doesn't get delayed. You know. But yeah, when you're going back, check it on. You know, and eventually it's going to get to Oklahoma City.
Okay.
You know? Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But I think that'd be one of the coolest. I mean, you mentioned chocolates and stuff as well. But I think like bringing nice like French lotions back, and then the soap from Marseille is really spectacular. I think that's like really cool gifts, especially to give to the girlfriends and stuff like that.
What do you recommend when they're coming back and they want to check their bag? Like I know that you can buy locks that TSA agents can open, you know, but I would be concerned about somebody going through, you know, like because it happens.
Yeah.
Like baggage people go through stuff. And what do you recommend? I mean, what do you think about that?
I've never put I never checked my bag, but yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Like I'd maybe like hop online and see if there's got to be some kind of travel form that talks about that. I don't know what the rules are about having the lock on your bag, but I think once it goes through the X-ray machine, if they see something that they want to examine, they're probably going to lock the lock off, right?
Well, the TSA, you can buy locks that they actually have a key that they can open the lock, but only the TSA agent can. It's like the baggage handlers can't. They can't open it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've got one. You can put it on.
Yeah.
And that's what I've used before because only the TSA agents and they keep the strict. You know, it's strictly. For that
okay. Yeah. So I would recommend. How much does one of those cost?
$5.
Yeah. So there you go. If you're worried about that, guys, get it. You know, that'd be good. And then otherwise, look for like maybe the little sample ones and just get a lot of those and put them in your quart size bag. So either way, you have options there.
Okay. How much was your little backpack?
This little backpack here, this was. It's been a while. This was like $80, but that's like you don't need something like that. You know, I mean, if you want to make an investment for lots of future like travel and stuff like that, then go for it. But I mean. I know Walmart and like Ross and stuff like that. They've got duffel bags. Walmart even has like backpacking bags now. You get those for like $30. You know?
Are there like specific size duffel bags? I've never really used a duffel bag.
Yeah, a duffel bag it'll be like kind of like a soccer bag or like a perfect for 2 weeks of travel. It's got a sling strap on it. I really like bags too like that. And you have the top entry. So the problem with this one's good, and then I changed out my old bag because my old backpacking bag. If I had something at the bottom, I had to take everything out to get to it. But this one has the front entry on it, so I can get in there. That's what's great about like sports bags, like basketball bags or soccer bags, is you can just open it there and you have everything right there in front of you. You know. Okay. So yeah, but before you guys go and buy anything, you know, talk to a friend or somebody like, hey, or a brother or sister, can I borrow this or can I borrow that? But then if you see yourself doing a lot more of this, then you might want to consider investing in something. And I'll send you a link as well. There's a website. It's called Camp More. You know, you go to Camp More, and they've always got. They always have specials on backpacking bags. A lot of super discounted stuff. So like you go to PAX, and then you don't get external because they're too big. But like if you want like an internal one, I mean, yeah, you can get them, but they have lifetime guarantee as well. You know, so. It's kind of worth it, but yeah. And then they have here on this website, they have the. They used to have they called it hot deals or something. I just call it deals now. But like 75% off, blah blah blah. You know. So check out, shop around, do Google shop. You know, find a bag you like, and then from there go. I think your guys' option would be go to like Backwoods or something. Here's like a camping outlet store. I don't know where they have in Oklahoma City. I know the Backwoods. But or maybe Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, right price. Academy. No. I'm joking. But anyway, before you go buy something, talk to friends, keep it on the cheap, and then if you decide that you want to make an investment, I can give you recommendations on stuff.
So like the sports bags are about the size you need for a
Exactly.
carry-on.
Yeah, exactly. The sports bag is, in my opinion, perfect. You have a sling strap. It's really nice. When you're on the metro, you can put it between your legs. Or you can just have it right there. Fits in the carry-on. So yeah, I think sports bags are the best. Like, anything else, guys? Any other questions? Things we need to cover? Are you coming to France?
No.
No?
Just my ride
Nope.
home.
She's going to be bringing stuff back. Yeah.
Lotions and
Yeah. So exotic mustache and